This is your full body recovery. All you need is a foam roller, and we're gonna start on our back. So roller's back behind you, and then you're gonna bring it right below the shoulder blades. So lay back, maybe use the forearms to get there. Once you get there, you're right in that mid-back, again, right below the shoulder blades, hands behind your head. Let the head get super heavy, face is soft. If it feels okay, lift the hips up, and we're gonna roll it all the way down towards the low back, and then right back up just below the shoulder blades. So we're just concentrating on a small area, maybe 3 or 4 inches. If it feels good, you're really letting the weight go on top of that roller, using the feet to give yourself a little bit of range of motion here. Head's heavy, so you're not straining through the neck. You could get all the way down into that QL a little bit. So we're gonna make our way through the back, in and around the shoulders, all into the lower body too. So take a few more swipes there. And then let's make a change. Now go those 3 or 4 inches above the little tip of the shoulder blade. So it feels like we're kind of taking that whole space up along the shoulder blades. So now we're incorporating lower and middle trap. We might even be getting to that upper trap just a little bit. We're getting it in and around the muscles of the rotator cuff. So again, head's heavy, face is soft, eyes could even close, allowing yourself to drift up and down, really trying to settle in, melt into that roller. So we are attempting to bring more circulation, a little more lubrication and ease to that fascia all along the back. Hoping to increase our range of motion, maybe decrease pain, prevent injury. So now keep that same space, but put all the effort onto the right side. So lift your left shoulder up and let all your weight come over onto the right. So it feels like you're at a little bit of an angle here. Left elbow high, head still supported, but just all that effort on the right side. Take another breath or two here. So reminding me to cue to make sure you are breathing throughout this whole session. And then let's switch. So now come back into that center spot, come over onto your left, and then find that right elbow high. And then that roll over on the left side. So you've got a little bit of an angle at the torso. So we're getting those muscles on top and around that left shoulder blade. Let's come back in center maybe just for a roll or two. And we're gonna make our way more into the shoulder. So come back to that spot right below the shoulder blades. Let's add a little bit of range of motion here. So set the hips down just to feel what we just did. Come up and over that roller, get a big arch to the back, a little spinal extension. Maybe let the head and arms fall and hang. Big breath here. And then when you're ready, come all the way up. We're gonna lay over on our right side. So come over under your right hip, bring the roller up and underneath that right shoulder. So I kind of like it if it's right behind my armpit, but play with it a little bit. Bring the right elbow down, prop the head up, and then we're gonna add a little forward fold and then a little reach back. So see if you can keep knees and hips stacked and let that elbow fall. So come forward. So play with it a little bit. Every time we are more static here, staying in a position, you can kind of evaluate where you want it to be. So again, I'm kind of in line with that shoulder blade, but I'm right to the side of it. Lats come in here. A little bit of rotator cuff comes in here. There could be some pretty good tenderness right here. So big breath as you find that really nice fold forward and back. Again, you could play with the roller being a little bit higher or a little bit lower. So anytime I move on, if you're not ready, you could always pause the video, take a little bit more time in a spot, or stay and just catch up when you're ready. So let's keep this same area of emphasis, but let's change our range of motion. So now I'm gonna lift my right elbow off the floor and then bring it back down. So I've just changed that friction on those muscles there. Elbow reaches towards my heels, my hips and knees are still stacked. So big lift up, head still supported gently. So we're gonna add all 4 movements in, draw a circle with our head coming up. So let's go back to this lift. So start your circle here. So come up and then fold it forward. Now that elbow comes, it might touch the floor, and then you lean back. So come back up, forward. So we're drawing a circle. We just took all 4 pieces of that range of motion, added them together in a big circle. Let's reverse it. So come back, open up, maybe tap that elbow, fold in. And then settle it back down. Use that left hand to come up. Maybe you just roll over onto your side. I'm just gonna flip over so you can see me. Let's go to the other side. So now left elbow comes down. Right elbow comes up, knees and hips are stacked. Again, play with it to try to find that spot that works. So you want it to maybe find that tender spot that's right behind the armpit, and then add that little fold forward. So notice you're different maybe side to side, might have a little more tenderness on one side versus the other. If you can get that little bit of spinal rotation in forward and then back by keeping the knees and hips stacked, we're multitasking a little bit. You could play with where this left elbow is, maybe move it out a little more, a little bit back. That might change the target of the muscles underneath you. Again, don't be afraid to move the roller a little up or a little down to find a different spot. So again, stay here as long as you'd like. If you're ready to make that change, we're gonna lift the left elbow off the floor, find that little side bend, and then let it come back down. Big lift up, elbow reaches towards the heels, and the left one taps back down. Take a couple more here, using the breath, so keep it steady, nice and smooth, inhales and exhales, face is soft, eyes could be soft or closed. Let's add it all together now. So next time you come up, lift up, fold forward, feels like you're drawing a circle with the head, come down, come back. All 4 parts of that range of motion, big circle, directed with the tip of the head. Let's reverse it, so forward and up, getting that really nice pressure in and around the lats, rotator cuff, tricep even comes in and attaches close to those two so they can all adhere together a little bit. So we're trying to break up any of that tension. One more circle. And then make your way back down. Gently, carefully come up, maybe do a little push up. And then we're gonna come up onto our hips up on the roller. So bring it back behind you, use the hands to come back. So hopefully that upper body feels a little better. Press into the roller, come up and sit up on top of it, and then bring the hands back behind you. So once you're here, let's go right into the glutes. So we're gonna cross that right ankle over the left thigh, and then lift the hips up and come up on top of that right glute, and then add a little rock here. So you can let that knee fall over. That might get a little bit into that glute med, but if we're right there in the center, we might get a little piriformis. Come lower and upper and get glute max. So again, as much weight as you can tolerate. The great thing when we're doing one limb here is you've got the other 3 to give you support. So as much weight as you need in your hands or as much weight as you need in that left foot, go for it. Really, really finding that ease. So take a couple more breaths here. We'll go right into our IT band on this right side. So again, stay as long as you want. Pause if you want to stay here on this glute a little bit longer. Otherwise, lengthen through that right leg. I'm going to turn up and over, get directly on to my right side, and then step over with my left foot. Tons of options here. So you could stay behind, you could step forward. I'll give you another option here in a second. We're going to take those arms and walk them, or hands, and walk them so that you can take that roller from right before the knee starts, right before the hip starts. So really get that whole length of that thigh. Put as much weight in the hands and that left foot as you need. If you don't need them, you could always stack your legs. That's going to give you a little bit more tension. If you have a certain spot you want to stay and hold, you could stay there. Make sure you're breathing here. This could really have some good tenderness. Big breath in. So making sure you're evaluating or checking out that space all the way down towards the knee, all the way up towards the hip, since that fascia runs that whole distance. Take another breath or two here, making any adjustments you need. And then when you're ready, be super careful, come back. Again, stay as long as you want. We're gonna switch our sides, so come back up. I'm gonna switch over. Let's bend into that left knee. Hands come back behind you, cross it over your right thigh, lift up, and then come up on top of that glute. Do a little rock. Again, we can get a lot of surface area here, getting glute max. Right there in the center, if you wanted to stay and hold and do a little rock, you get more piriformis. If you really rock over onto that side, you might clip into a little bit of glute med. So again, just breathing, really working out any of that tension there in the glutes. So this is a routine that you could do on a recovery day. It could be kind of a full body cool down. Any of these, if you broke any of them up, any of them you could do before a workout, after a workout. So it could warm you up, it could cool you down. All right, let's move to IT band. So walk that leg out, come over onto your left side. If you like it, step over with the right leg. Hands are gonna walk, give you that distance from the knee all the way to the hip. Big pull up. So relaxing into it best you can, but give yourself as much support as you need with both hands and the other foot. Take another couple breaths here. Again, pause if you want, stay as long as you'd like. And then when you're ready, come back behind. So find that roller in front of you now. We're gonna come into quads, so front of the thigh. So bring the roller close to you. We're gonna come down and place it right below the hip joint. So come up on top of it, and then once you get in that position, I'm gonna find my forearms and do a little walk until that roller hits right above my kneecaps. And then I can keep my forearms where they are and just rock back and forth. So taking up that whole space, that whole quad. Again, if you find a little hot spot, you could always stay and do a little rock side to side or bend and straighten the knee. Taking your time, go slow, hold, find a little movement within that hold. If you're finding more tension down by the knee, you could find a smaller range of motion, just stay there for a little bit. Or find that full range of motion. We're staying off big bony prominences, so we're not going on top of the kneecap or back into that hip crease towards that hip bone. We want to stay right on that fleshy part. So take a few more breaths here. We're going to move on to the inner thigh. That'll be our last little group. So when you're ready, come back behind. Let's add a little child's pose to this here. So add a push of the roller forward, sink back hips to heels, maybe let the forehead fall, let the hands hang on that roller. Feel that really great quad range of motion. And then when you're ready, bring that roller up. We're gonna set it over to our right side. We're gonna end up on our belly. So come down beside the roller, and then I'm gonna take my right leg, kind of come on my left side and drape it up and over. So it's gonna come right on that inner thigh. So you have tons of choices here. You could stay and just hold with it in a certain spot. The weight of the leg might be a lot of tension there on that inner thigh. You could rest the head, or come up on the forearms, kind of like we did the quad, and roll it all the way from that hip joint all the way to the knee joint. So tons of options. Maybe you just stay in a little spot and do a little baby rock back and forth. So evaluate first, where is most of your tension? You might spend most of your time there. You could also stay, hold it, and straighten and bend that knee. That adds a little bit of friction there. So take what you need here. Inner thighs often hold more tension than you'd think. Make sure you're paying attention right there close to the knee too. So again, taking as long as you want on at each place, each surface, really finding the breath. Don't be afraid to hold in a little spot. Rest into it. Rock in and out of it. And then when you're ready, let's switch sides. So come up, bring that roller over towards your left side. Switch around. So come down onto your belly and then onto your right side, maybe prop up on your forearms. Take that left leg, drape it over. So I feel like I like when my knee's straight out from the hip. Then come back to face the belly towards the floor. And again, just find that rock. Maybe it's fully from the knee all the way to the hip, or just a little bit of that surface area. You can always straighten and bend the knee. This is a great addition to any stretching or yoga that you're doing. So it just has a different approach than our stretching does. We're really targeting the fascia, which lays over every single muscle. Just happens to sometimes with tension get a little bit of adhesion, so it gets a little stuck. So we're hoping to roll some of that out. Take another couple breaths here. Maybe find that hot spot, stay, do a little rock there. And then when you're ready, again, pause if you need to, but if you're ready, come up. Let's find one more child's pose to feel everything we just did. So roller in front of us, toes together, knees as far apart as it feels comfortable. Push that roller in front of you. Come to pinky fingers. Let that chest fall. And then really sink in. Add a little bit of pressure into the hands, a little reach back of the hips. Feel a range of motion through the legs, through the shoulders, the back. And then when you're ready, roll it up. Maybe swing the legs around. Congratulate yourself for an amazing job today. Thanks so much for going through foam rolling with me. Have a great rest of the day. See you soon.